Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 9. Module 9 is the first poem assignment that you will complete. You're going to complete a mimicry poem in this module. Again, just like the short stories, all of the poetry modules will be open at the same time, and you will be able to complete those poems in any order. However, the order that I have them listed is probably the easiest for most students. So I'm just going to go over what the mimicry poem should look like, and then you definitely can get started on that. So this is the module. There's a little bit of content about mimicry for you to look at before you look at the assignment. So mimicry is also called imitation or imitation poetry, and the idea is that you start with a poem that somebody else wrote and you create a poem that mimics it. The thing to remember about mimicry is that while you are mimicking the structure of the original, the form of the original, you are not mimicking the content of the original. So the topic that the author used, you will not use that. So a lot of students approach mimicry as sort of like an opposite topic, and if you think of mimicry as like parody is a type of mimicry, then sometimes that will help students, so they'll pick a poem that's maybe a little bit more dramatic or sad or something like that, and they'll mimic it in sort of a funny way. And so I've got this example here, which you guys may be familiar with, is Weird Al Yankovic's songs often mimic other artists' songs. So we've got Lady Gaga's Born This Way versus Weird Al Yankovic's Perform This Way. So this you can kind of see the parallels in how he wrote that song to sound like her song, but with other wording, obviously. So and then I've got some websites here with lots of good examples to follow, and that might help you as well. There is some in the textbook. Obviously you should have read the textbook chapter for the previous module, and so hopefully you will see, those examples can help you out a little bit. So this is the first of your 4 poem assignments that you'll write. You will choose a poem from a professional poet or song artist and then write an imitation poem. So you can use a song if you want to. Your poem needs to have the same stanza breaks, same basic line lengths, same form as the original, and then you can, if you want, mimic the tone of the original, but it does need to be a different subject. Or you can do the opposite of the tone. So a humorous subject is serious or a serious subject is humorous. It's kind of up to you how you do that. However, the topic needs to be different. So some students will take a poem and they'll do kind of a parallel idea. So if the original poem is about winter, they'll take it and they'll make it about summer. So it's the opposite topic, but it's within the same kind of category of topics, and that's fine too. The only thing you don't want to do is do, like, if the poem is about depression and then yours is just about sadness or something, that's too similar. That's too much of the original. And so we're not copying any of the original lines. We're not copying the original topic. It's entirely your own poem, but it imitates the original. The couple of things to remember about this assignment: you have to include the original poem, but yours needs to have its own title. I would go with something other than like mimicry of, and then the other poem's title. You could mimic their title, definitely. You can use song lyrics if you want to, as a mimic if you want. And the poem that you choose needs to be at least 7 lines long, and so your poem then will be a similar length. If you find a really short poem and you want to mimic it, you may have to do multiple poems. So if it's like a haiku or something, you'd have to do 3 haiku. So just kind of keep that in mind, that you want to make sure that your poem is the same length as the original, but don't feel like you have to do the whole thing. So if you choose a song, you do not need to mimic the entire song. If you choose like a really long ballad for a poem, you don't need to mimic the whole thing. And that might help a little bit with what you choose to mimic. Once you're done writing the poem, you'll submit it to the spot where you submit, and I will obviously be giving feedback on poetry, and then you'll take the self-assessment quiz just like we've done before. So that is the first poem assignment. If you have questions as you're going through it, if you're not sure if the poem you've chosen to mimic will work for the assignment, definitely send me an email. Otherwise, have a great week.